62 show.
Welcome everyone to this week on the 6873 show. I think it's going to be a really fun show today. We are actually discussing kind of a subject that's going to be a lot of fun. It was something that was brought up to me, and that is, how does your VR life actually reflect IRL life, and what would your friends and family think if they actually seen you in VR? And are you any different than you are in VR, or does the mask come off and reveal who you really are? So anyway, my name is Captain Rin. The other hosts of the show, of course, are...
I am Rossi. The lovely lady in the middle here is...
I am Toki, and the bow tie wearing guy next to me.
Ion, and the fish stick right next to me.
Is Leafish healed?
So today we are going to talk about how do our VR life compare to our IRL life. Because it could be a whole big difference. It could also be the same. It depends on person to person view on it. But we are going to dive into it more and see, do we actually agree on, is it the same, or are we totally different people when we enter VR? So I want to know what you guys think. Like, Rossi, do you think your real life is like VR life, or...
Well, I'd say I try to keep my personality the same in my trail of thought, my persona that I put forward of how I act, how I perceive myself to be. I try to keep it the same, but I think, to be fair, there probably is a lot of differences if I really looked into it and narrowed it down, because in here I can be a bit more, what's the word?
Open,
outgoing?
Free?
outgoing.
Free and outgoing, because as Ren was saying, it's like a mask, because you can't see me IRL. I can be a bit different and not have as many consequences, if you know what I mean.
What about you, Ren? What do you think?
Singing and dancing and
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question too. So your lovely wife and your daughter, what would they think if they actually were able to come in here right now and see you on just a normal day in VR? What would they think of you? And how fast would the divorce papers be processed?
Oh,
Wouldn't go that far.
wow, yeah. To be fair, they've watched I've many times where, because where I do the VR, I'm in my kitchen because it's the bigger space. And there's so many times that I've suddenly looked up and there's my wife stood there in the doorway, just staring at me and just looking at me, shaking her head, going, "What the actual fuck?" And then I try and show her on my computer screen what I'm doing, and it's. But I think the difference is they know I'm quite big on the imaginative mind and things like that, where my wife's a realist. She looks at me doing this and goes,
awesome.
You do you, but it's not my thing.
So Ren, how do you think...
Mrs. Ross in here for one day.
So what do you think, like, does your RL life compare to your VR life, or is it like day and night?
Not really in some circumstances, because normally, so before I entered VR, I was very, very quiet in a lot of ways. I was the person lurking in the back corner, like, don't look at me, people, bad. And even when I was working on the docks and stuff like that as a captain, I didn't really talk to a lot of people, even a lot of times my crew for the most part, and some of them even gave me the moniker of Ahab because I just didn't talk, and usually when it was business, it was this, go. And, So it was a serious job. It was taken very seriously, and that's was my normal personality. Was being very serious because job lives can be ended on that job.
Yeah.
But when I started into VR, for the most part, I notice in society, especially when we are in the IRL, we kind of have this mask forced on us that we have to show a conformed personality, that people can it's sterile enough that people can associate with, but it's not really you. We are forced to have this mask over us. And I noticed when I got into VR, especially when I could look more like how I want to look, and as you say, you're not even though a lot of times the ramifications are still there, you just don't notice it as much because if you act like whatever, people are going to react to you the same way. It's just you don't feel like you have the same ramifications in a lot of different ways. But it is that feeling of release that you're in some ways someone else and not that other person, so the mask completely comes off. And I have noticed, after the past few years, that I am a lot more open, a lot more prone to have a conversation with someone, and a lot more outgoing. And one thing I've noticed is that has spilled over to reality. So, a lot of people who knew me back then, before VR, and have seen me now, is like, you've changed a little bit. Like, you're a lot more, you're a lot more, way, way, way more social than you used to be. And I think for me, that's one of the things that affects is, I was different in a lot of ways first coming into VR. A lot of different ways. And even though I did have my awkwardness in VR at the very beginning, because my first community I belonged to was Alt Space, and it was great. There's everyone there was amazing. Like Alt Space, the community was still to this day is absolutely top notch. But I was, very standoffish, and then when I got into a certain friend groups and stuff like that, and started socializing, started inviting me to it, then it started like coming out a lot more. And now, after almost 5 years of being in VR, my online personality a lot of times will reflect my offline personality. Where before, when it was two completely different people, but now it's more.
Yeah.
I've learned to kind of take off the mask a little bit more and be more myself and not worry about the ramifications, like you were saying. Because I could kind of trial who I really was and wanted to be in a somewhat safe environment. And I noticed that I didn't really need that mask as much. So I guess that was kind of my experience with VR and how it affected me. And I have to say it was for the plus, because you have to figure too, for a lot of different people, especially with people suffering from extreme anxiety, social anxieties and stuff like that. I have seen people literally, change their lives, literally go from the person who literally almost break down, crying, talking to one person, to being social butterflies within, 6 months to a year. So I think that's one of the benefits about VR and these communities is the ability to take that mask off and trial your own personality and kind of hone who you really are in. And I think for me, that is one of the greatest gifts about this. And for me, especially because I'm, like I say, I'm a better person for it. So, Ian, what was some of your experiences? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to lead it over here. So what about you? What do you think?
Well, the difference in personalities coming from a person like me who's done a lot of stuff in their life, there's like, some people have 2 masks, 3 masks, 4 masks, 5 masks. I only have 3. I have my VR, my work, and my normal. No one likes my work mask because I can be a complete dick.
I'm sorry, what? Can be?
I mean,
That was a new one.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault that I sent a manager into a raging historical.
Patted your hand. He just patted your hand. I know you, dude.
I'm so
It's
confused.
okay.
But
Okay.
I actually had a manager quit because I pointed out his flaws and everything he did wrong with the company. He got so frustrated, and it was a department I used to run at a different company, and he got so fed up with it because I corrected everything he did wrong. He just straight out quit.
Hey. Rage quitting.
I know.
He was there for like 5 years, and he kept on messing up everything in the frozen and produce and all that kind of stuff. Whenever I walked into the building, I fixed everything in one day. But that's my work side. If I was to bring in my VR side, y'all see me like this. I'm goofy. I want to be interactive. You normally see me with just the derp eyes, but sometimes it just goes like tension.
It's usually when I strip.
It's actually scary when that happens.
Mhm.
Anyways, but then you have my normal me. Whenever I'm off of VR chat, I'm off of work. I'm a bum. I can't deny it. I clean the house. I take care of the pets. I take care of everything. But it's just that interchanging from each one of them sometimes for me is difficult because as soon as I come home, I still think about stuff from work. I come on VR, then log off VR, go to sleep, then wake up and be back on VR or go to work. It's just a jumbled mess at this point. But I'm trying to accumulate to doing that, and hopefully soon that will be changing. Because I actually got
Well,
word that I will be moved to a morning shift.
Oh,
So which
that's
means
gonna be
I'll
awesome.
have my afternoons off.
Nice.
So instead of being the night owl that everyone knows me as here, I'll be the little creature of the night going. I'll be the bright ray of sunshine in the afternoons.
I'm tired
It's-
of fucking
it's-
with
it's kind of-
stuff the evening.
Okay,
It's
I
kind
just
of
wanna
funny when you
state-
see him
I
just passed over in a corner.
Yeah, I just want to state the only two night owls there's on this with this table is Healed and I. Like when we have to record, I will say, okay, these guys have. Well, no, also Rozzy, sorry, but these two has it like it's their afternoon, something like that, and then we have us like 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. and when I'm done, it's 4 a.m. So, not recording, but being in VR. Because it's a time zone and they suck. But we still do it. Okay, so.
Should all move on to one place.
What do you want to say?
I really wasn't finished, but okay, we can cut it there.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. But
The beatings will continue until morale is increased.
honestly, basically at the end of this episode, you'll find me huddled in a corner with her standing over me, asserting dominance, T-posing. But
Mine.
Dominatrix alert.
Well, that's just in the bedroom.
Okay, rolling the ball
Anyways.
further down.
anyways, but yeah, my VR life versus my actual life, it's somewhat different, but somewhat the same because I have her. And this is like the only way I get to physically lay eyes on her. But since this whole job thing, it's kind of drove me in a downward spiral when I don't get to see her. And now that that's changing soon, it's going to be a lot better. But anyways,
so-
healed.
Yeah, healed. Please also, how do you think it is? I know sometimes you are very different in here compared to real life, but there are also parallels where it all like is the same. But I want to hear it from you. Like, what do you think? Am
Yeah,
I
just a hit-
totally
I'm
wrong
not-
or?
I might get a little emotional on it, but you are right. It's like IRL, I am 80% of the time completely the opposite kind of person of what I am in here. It's like in here, I'm happy-go-lucky. I'm willing to do anything. I'll talk to people. I'll chill with yous. I'll watch movies, hang, play games, whatever. Because I love doing it. I love making people happy. As we're in real life, I'm quite. What's the word? Would you say an introvert?
Yeah, I think
I'm
so.
very inclusive. I'm very exclusive. It's like
You're not.
I like to
social.
go out and enjoy myself. Yeah, I'm quite antisocial. It's like, yeah, I like to go out and enjoy myself. I'll gladly talk to someone, but
Everything has its limit.
it's always something in my mind that everyone is just looking at me. I was like thinking you don't belong, or you shouldn't be here, or why are you here?
Or sometimes you might have that social battery that just runs down.
And that's
What
it's
did I
like
talk about those fingers? What did I tell you about the finger?
You wanted to suck on him for hours on end.
But it's, as I was saying,
Down boy.
it's like, yeah, it's literally like when it says it's like a battery, and it's like when I've had enough,
Yeah.
I'll gladly stay in my bedroom for days on end, just staring at my TV or playing my Xbox, or even just trying to think of some TikToks just to try and make other people laugh. It's like being in VR has helped. It has helped me come out a bit more. I've met amazing people. People I'm grateful to have today.
Oh.
Honey, now you have to pat his paw. You have to pat his paw.
I've met some astounding people through VR. People I'd give my soul to, I'd lay down my life for. And I wouldn't change it.
Nuggets.
What? All I heard was chicken nuggets, but I didn't hear more than that. Wait, what? Huh?
You can go get us chicken
What?
nuggets. You can go get us chicken
He
That's
doesn't
what
his
we do
family
on
own a
this
restaurant? He
show.
literally could.
Damn.
No, not that
You
kind
can
of.
go get me a 40-piece
Not that kind of-
chicken McNugget. I'll give you the money for it. Just give
Okay,
me a chicken
fatso.
nuggets,
Wait,
a
sorry,
Chuck E.
that's me.
Shake.
Okay, Fluffy. Well,
For the
wait,
record, I
you'll
would
be
love to see a
damn.
McDonald's in the UK that does a 40-piece chicken nugget.
Yeah, it's just two.
I mean,
20
you could
pieces.
just order 2 20 pieces. Jinx!
Is that?
Jinx! Jinx!
I fucking
What
love
do you
these
mean, honey?
people.
honey.
I said it.
I get the 80.
I
I
said
love
it
all of you.
too. But I did it. I said it too at the same time as you did. You just ordered 2 20 pieces.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So,
So, is there anything else you want to add to all this before we get all teary-eyed and bloodshot from laughing as well?
There was something I was going to say then, but it was good, and it just rolled out of my head like a tumbleweed.
well, Healed, I do have a question. for
Don't surround yourself with negative energy all the time.
you. Mhm.
I know you want to try and draw out the negative energy from within, and yes, sometimes it does help, but don't let it linger. Listen to music, listen to play games, talk to friends. because I honestly don't know where I'd be if I didn't join these guys.
So you had a question for Healed.
Yeah, I just was kind of curious, for like me, being very much introverted and stuff like that initially, and also, having to definitely keep on a certain mask for different things. But have you kind of experienced like me for being in here more and being able to socialize and make these, these profound connections, even being family members and stuff like that in VR? Have you noticed that some of that has spilled off over into your IRL life? Like, has that mask kind of chipped away a little bit, or do you still find yourself wearing the mask just as heavy, but find
I
release
do.
here?
It's like it's hard to say. It's like it has chipped away. It's like I do enjoy going out and being a bit more social than I was.
Mhm.
It's like you saw the photos I took when I took a nice long drive up to Newport Mountain.
Yeah.
As Healed, as a
Nice
Rossi's
long
arm
6-hour
go berserk.
drive.
Cool.
Which I will tell you,
Yeah.
he'll take some amazing photos, like absolutely
They're
amazing
beautiful.
photos.
They're beautiful.
Kind of go
Well,
around
I guess
the
in
I know
this
there are some.
countryside.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was going to say there are some wonderful sites in where you live. Wonderful sites.
I
My ass is one
will
of them.
say,
Oh,
oh hey, yeah.
I
I've
see
not seen that.
I just needed to get that.
Unless you post pictures, it doesn't
No.
exist.
I just had to squeeze that in
Multiple
there.
photos and just one of his ass.
Okay,
What the fuck?
so
Full
I, so for me, I will say to begin with, I was very much an introvert joining VR. Also, I have tried VR before. Shush. I have tried VR before, and it was on a shitty laptop, and I crashed within the first 5 seconds. So I kind of gave up on it, but I watched a lot of YouTube and saw the videos that everybody made in there, and I'm like, okay, one day I'm gonna save up, I'm gonna have a headset, and I'm gonna go in there again. And of course, it happened, and I was like, oh my god, how do I do this? Like, I ended up in a world filled with PC people, like PC VR, and they just hurled insults at me. Oh my god, a Quest user, blah 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 blah. And there was only one person among them. He was 17 at the point, and he was like, "Hey, you know what? Let me take you out of here." He opened a portal. We went to a different world, and he showed me everything. And I cannot thank him enough. Like, Gray, you know who you are. Thank you. Oh, and Oakland too. But if it wasn't for them, I would not have been a social butterfly that I am today. And drawing the parallels, I have a much more social energy and battery in here. Like I can have people more around me, where in real life I just want to stick my fingers in my ears and just walk away. I mean, I wish there was a volume button in real life. I could really use that, especially with my family, because we are very loud people. Like, I'm loud, but I'm nothing compared to them. And social gatherings in real life is like, shut up. In real life is like, I don't really want to socialize. I did before, but that's when you went out with friends, you had a drink or two. I haven't been drinking for like the
Or
past
20.
15 years.
Or 20.
Well, but I haven't been drinking. Like, alcohol doesn't do anything for me anymore, and I just want to be social. I just want, yeah, I know you're an alcoholic, but
Out the man like
I
It's
said, call
okay,
me
we
out,
still
call me
love
out.
It's okay, we
you
still
know I
you.
love you. You know I love you. But if you ask my mom, she says I live in here, and the truth is, yes, I do. I'm on here every day unless I'm sick or I have to do anything with the RRL family. But when I started in here, I had no one. And now I have a big family in here. I have my wonderful VR husband. I have brothers. I have kids.
Don't cry. Don't do it. I know you're going to.
If I didn't have these guys, I wouldn't have anyone. I wouldn't I would not have anyone to talk to. I know. But because of these people, I have a family in here that care very much about me. We have 7 chaotic but wonderful kids. And I'm probably not gonna have any in real life, so they are my kids. They're our kids. But and then Ren, that fool, invited me to the first show. Oh, you fucked up, boy. You fucked up.
I am the captain. I think we're going to have to put a warning on the start of this episode, aren't we?
Yeah.
You're going to need warning. You're going to need tissues.
Yeah. But I know
This has
that
been our
in
most
here,
emotional episode,
Very
but
much
on a
so.
positive
in
side.
here, yeah, in here, I will say that if we fight, we really fight. But we also sit down afterwards and try to hear each other out. We might not agree, but we take that, we have that talk, and we're like, okay, if I stepped on you, I am so sorry. But we are also allowed to have our opinions. In real life, in my case, if you don't have the same opinion, if you don't behave in a certain way, you're the black sheep. And I'm the black sheep in my family. I will happily admit that. If I could live in here, I would. Because I experience a lot more love in here. And understanding, even though I have my temper. And you viewers, you potato chips know that too. I have my temper.
Yeah.
But then I have people, amazing people like this. Amazing people like this that could calm me down. And actually, hey, I saw it was like this that happened, and I know you saw it from a different angle, but and I can actually sit down like, okay, I overreacted. But in real life, I will just hit everyone and like, no, I wouldn't. But
It would
So
probably
like
feel like
those.
one of those like cotton ball sticks.
honey, I used to box. I almost knocked out the trainer with a right hook.
Damn.
Put me to sleep, honey.
Was that choke me? No, not like that.
No.
Honey, I'm tired. I need to go to bed.
Okay, don't get me wrong. My mom loves me and I love her dearly. My brother, my sister-in-law, my nephew he's golden. Like, he cannot compare to anyone in here, and I will tell you why. I have to just add this because it's legendary. So my mom was up there and visiting him, and I have a dog named Chanel. Stop licking my boyfriend, or I'll hit you. That's not her name.
No, that's something you don't hit. That's something you don't hear normally in real life. Stop licking my boyfriend.
You would be
There's a difference
surprised.
between VR and
You would be
You'd be
surprised.
surprised.
You would be surprised.
Okay.
Okay. What? Okay, so you know when people tend to hit on your loved one, like I was on the phone with him, and when he was working at the vape shop, and all I heard was like this lady's like, "Hey, handsome," and he was like, "You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that." And he's like, but still, no. I'm on the phone with my missus, and I think she could hear me like. He's like, okay, never mind. Wait, where did you disappear? toilet break. It's
Mhm.
okay. He'll be back.
It's a fish thing. It's a fish thing.
But no, my nephew, he is like straight on, no filter. So my mom was up there visiting them. It's like a 2-hour drive. And he's like, where is Auntie? Well, she's at home. Where's Chanel? Well, she's at home too. That's my dog. And my mom like thought she would be smart as, don't you think Auntie's sleeping? And he just looked at her, all serious. No, Auntie's walking dog. Are you sure? Because he always says Auntie's sleeping. Yeah, Auntie's sleeping. But this time he was smart. Like, no, Auntie's walking dog. She walking Chanel. He always does that with his nose. He doesn't say Chanel. He says Chanel. So I love him to death. Like, I swear to God, even when she says I'm not walking because grandma is fat, he just looks at her like, yeah. So that is my gold. Besides that, that's my kids in here, my wonderful VR husband, my family. They can cope with me. Let's say that. I think that's the right word. Cope with me, because I can be a bitch. Okay, 9% I'm a bitch. Okay, I am. But in here, I swear like a sailor. I'm lewd as hell. Because I've always been used to be one of the boys. I burp, I fart, but they can't hear me fart. Thank God.
She thinks we can't.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, when I do fart, I say, I farted. I would not do that in real life, okay? My mom can hear me when I
we
fart.
always go, yeah, we know.
Living shit up.
Yeah, we know.
Welcome back. But
Welcome back
yeah,
to the gulag.
as you can hear,
Sorry about that.
it's okay. Welcome back. But as you can hear, it's some are like their ROL personalities. I think if we all gather up, we'll probably act the way we do in VR. Because we can let loose, you can be who you want to be. You can also like put on another mask and then you're I'll say you are a fraud, but I understand people that do it. You develop a certain personality. So, but other than that, in here, like, I weren't a furry before I met him. That's his fault, by the way. But I thrive in this furry, and I realized this is me. I don't have a real life fursuit. I don't have any tail or whatever. It would be fun if I had. But in here, I am me. I can be me. And I really don't care if people judge me because I know I have people around me. Like these guys, my kids and my family that don't care if I look like an ass. As long as I don't behave like one. So, yeah. And these people have seen my IRL face.
Just on every full moon,
So-
you get a wear-tucky.
Well, you get a were chihuahua.
That is much scarier.
It's a were fox.
Yeah, were fox. But I think I have talked enough. Is there anyone that want to add anything else?
Well, I just had a couple observations. There's a few things that, like, especially a lot of you pointed on, and also you touched on also, is the fact that you do make stronger connections in here simply because of the fact that you can truly see who a person is and interact with a person almost at their core versus, you know, trying to tear down a wall or something like that. And just the benefits of that, especially, even, being, having a virtual family that sometimes, most of the time, is more connected to you than your IRL family. Because I mean, like, you have kids. I have 6 kids too, and they are my kids, bar none. I look at them; they're mine, and I love them to death. and just the ability to make those. I mean, you have to think too, because this is, you know, kind of a ability to connect with everyone. I mean, you have to figure too, even at this little table right here, we literally have people from scattered all over the entire globe that would have never been able to connect to each other normally, and yet here we are. You know, that is something that's really amazing to me, is the ability to connect completely. Heel, did you have something?
Well, it's like, for example, it's like I feel more connected with the people in this room than I do with my own family.
Mm-hmm.
But my own family, I'd just be used and abused
Yeah.
just because I got a car.
Mm-hmm.
We all come from a different background, and in here we are equal. It's not like, oh my god, you're an outcast because you're poor, and oh my god, you get beaten, and blah 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 blah. No, we are more open, and we are huggers. Okay, we're huggers, we're lovers, we are understanding, and even with you and I have never seen his real life face before. Actually, we started dating, and like I told him, I fell in love with his personality. It was not even the way he looked, because he's a good teddy bear, he's handsome, but that was his personality. That was the way he acted, he talked, he cared about people, and he started out on PC. He was a very, very stiff dog. So, and his computer sucked. But other than that,
Don't
it was
worry,
like
we took that one out back and put it down like old Lassie.
yeah. But we connected.
Oh yeah.
I know you say you have to be wary of online relationships, because again, you only know people to the teeth, and it could be underage, adult,
Yeah.
they're predators.
Mm-hmm.
But then you meet people like him and I, or others that has a partner on here, and you hear these amazing stories that they meet up in real life, and it actually makes it work. And so far so good, I will say. And that's
Just
also
note I
the
farted
power
a lot.
about VR. You don't see their face. You see the person. You hear them talk. I will kill both of y'all if you don't shut up. But you have that understanding and that
Hey,
personality that you can relate to. Hold on. So all of that, you already feel like, okay, I know this person. I know you can't say that, and then you meet them in real life and like, oh my god, you're different. But that will always be some of it, if you might say. But the personalities in here is what drew me to these people. These amazing people. All of y'all amazing people out there as well. Our potato chips. Okay, but any
Potato chips.
last
Well, the
comment
one I had
that-
actually a question for everyone at the table, like especially, you know, because
Yeah.
one thing I have definitely noticed in here is that conversations have a tendency of being completely more open and unbiased. But one thing I would have to ask everyone here, and I think he'll have something to speak on this also, is how much of the ability to take off that mask and be more open and truthful to yourself is tied to your avatar? Because I know, you know, a lot of us very, very, very much associate with our avatars. You know, that is literally us here in VR. But how much of that, I guess you could say, coming out to your true self is really tied to your avatar?
You know,
Rossi? I'm letting him go first.
I'm not sure, to be honest, as I say, because I mean, for me, this avatar is just, I mean, it's me because I like foxes, and you know, I'm also looking at getting a new avatar made, which is again, it's another fox, but in the canid model rather than the Rex. But it's, I don't know, I think it's more, for me, the avatar is just because I like foxes, and I like the color scheme, I like the, you know, I just think they're beautiful, majestic, smart, clever creatures, and I'm not beautiful, smart, and clever. So I thought, oh, why not be one of them? So at least I can pretend I am.
Boy.
Seen him in real life. Have you seen a picture of this man?
Yes, he's
Looks like a
handsome.
minister.
I'm sorry,
He's
Mrs.
a
Razzie,
Jesse.
but he's handsome. No, he's not.
And what?
He's a
Nothing.
Gingy.
Don't worry about it.
I'm
He
not
is the
ginger.
foxiest fox I have ever met, okay? And that's a good thing.
Okay, I'll give you a
Aside from
clue.
yourself.
Apparently, people mistake me for Gary Barlow.
You know what? Now that I'm picturing it, I can see some
now that we're
similarities.
seeing it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's
Never
just say it, but I can't sing like him.
I would say for me, yeah, definitely. My character has definitely made me open up and be more me. I mean, again, like Rozzy, I love foxes. They're adorable. They can also be clever or sneaky. They're just there's no label on it. It's like you're free. You're kind of not connecting with an animal, but you feel like that kind, and it just opens up a lot more. I've become more confident with this avatar. Thank you, Mina. I love you. It's amazing. Shout out to Mina. And this is me. I know you say you create a personality on what you wear, but any other avatar, it's this personality that shines through. This fox right here.
So do you feel that you have a true connection with your avatar, and the traits of that imbues, do you think that kind of marries with your personality and allows that
Yes.
to come through?
Definitely. I know they say fox are trickster, but in reality, we're just fun. And I feel like that, like foxy fox, as they say. But I feel, yeah, this is me. If I could choose to be this is me. This is how I would look like.
Well, you know, strangely
you?
enough, just really quickly, strangely enough, there was actually a quite a long multi-year study done on, you know, this actually has to do with the furry fandom community. There was a scientific study done on that, and they found out that people who choose certain animal totems, they all share the same traits, personalities, and everything associated more with that animal. And they don't, like, say they asked them, you know, why did you choose this? And a lot of them, they really couldn't give a solid reason why. They just said they had an affinity for it. But across the board, everyone who chooses a certain species, they all share a lot of similarities, which I found really, really interesting. It wasn't such a random jumbling, you know, and a lot of those personalities actually in real life reflected the totem that they were representing. Which I do, it's fascinating to me.
Do I mirror a fox? What is the personality traits of a fox?
Sleek and
I
beautiful.
know it's. Well, I ain't sleeky, okay? But I'm fluffy and thick.
Cunning.
Yes.
Am I cunning?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is
Smart.
that a good thing? No, I'm not.
Have you seen Fantastic Mr. Fox?
Yes, you are.
Exactly.
It's funny actually because my very, very first avatar, or not avatar, sorry, persona that I created was actually a hybrid of a wolf and a dragon.
That's quite a
And
common
it's just
one,
funny how I
actually.
went. Yeah,
A
yeah.
wagon.
So I mean, I went.
I was just
No, it was there,
thinking
but
that.
Wagon.
the name was actually
Dolph.
Ryu Wolf, where Ryu was
Ryu Wolf?
Japanese for dragon and
Yeah.
wolf,
Yeah.
so dragon wolf, and it was
Nice.
someone made me a reference sheet, which is the one I sent to you guys, and you know I'd had that one for years, and then all of a sudden I come on VR chat. I was looking for a wolf avatar that had like dragon features, and then all of a sudden it was like, ooh,
Oh.
fox.
Along with
Yeah. It's like it's like putting on a suit. You find the one you like, and you're like, oh, I want this, and then you just see the one like, that one. We want.
Yeah.
Kinda. It's like a fursuit, if you think about it.
Mhm.
But I don't
You
think
can
we
use
heard
more
from
of your
these two.
personality. Ease.
Yeah. What do you... This is a tradition. We have to do this when he does that.
Okay.
So-
That was timing.
But
Well, I forced you to wear that. I forced you to wear that couple avatars. But other than that, sorry.
well, normally a lot of, since we're going down the list of what we originally were and what it represents, is that whenever I first got this like texture made, it was actually a Dutch Angel Dragon. But over time, it kind of, I'm going to switch avatars here, and it's going to give a better representation
Stand
of
up.
what I mean.
Stand up. Stand up.
Yeah.
Stand by.
No,
honey, I'm
sweetie,
gonna
get
need
off
to
the seat and
change.
stand up.
We want to see you dance on the
Initiate
table.
lag and
Okay, there we go. So this is the Otter. This is the 2.0, and as you can see, it has the full body crosses, the upside down crosses, and all that kind of stuff. I'm not really religious or anything of that sort, but as a bonus, is that everyone has their two sides. Everybody has their demons, and everyone has their lights. But it's more, yeah, shut the fuck up. I heard that.
Also, there is a cool feature. There is a cool feature. If you look into the camera, so you see his eyes are derpy, but if he actually touches his face, they change to straight.
Hey, he
Which
can
is a
boop
little
his
fun
nose and he
factor.
gives it a little.
and you can pull his hair as well.
Mhm. And his ears and
Okay, so
Toki pulls other things too.
we're shut up. We're running slowly a little bit out of time here, so if you have others, you
Yeah.
kind of have to show now.
That's about it. But
That's
it just
about it, okay.
explains both sides. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What about you, Heel?
So, Heel, what about you?
Well, it's like when I first started VRC, the character I had, so I actually still got it. I just found a generic avatar. And it just felt like me at the time.
Is
Just
it that
quite
e-boy?
generic, depressive looking ass.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Oh god, it's that one.
I
Mhm.
met.
Yeah, I
what?
still got
Hold
it.
on, I met him in that one. Okay, that was the first time he needed
Yeah,
a hug,
I've
and I
had
gave
this
him a
for a
hug.
long time. And courtesy of Jojo Fries, I just found me then. Shark.
Yeah.
That was
God,
the
it's
one
been
that
forever since
we,
I've seen that model.
yeah,
Y'all
you
met him
first
in,
debuted on the
yeah.
show with that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then
And
thanks
then
to
I
Jojo
dragged him
for
into the show.
yeah, and then with thanks to Jojo for the assets
Yeah.
and Mina for putting everything together, as well as other assets.
Shout out to
You
Mina.
see, me.
You should probably get off the table. You're kind of big.
You're tall.
I know I am. Not the first time I've
I
heard
am
that.
small. I'm kind of
But then
small.
it was
Okay,
after that,
so-
authority.
Mina used me as a testings then for other avatars, which I absolutely adored and loved. And then it
Yes.
just got me to where it's where I am today.
So, in conclusion, yes, the avatars have some truth to it, where you actually go into your personality. Why are you scooting over here?
He wants to
Go
sit on
back
your
to your
thumb.
seat, boy.
Down boy, down boy.
Exactly. But yes, it has a lot. When you find that avatar, you just know. And it is your person. It is you. You can reflect yourself into that. But before we sign off from here now, will you stop? Thank you. We have one last thing that we need to deal with. Everybody, hands up. You know the deal?
Why? What is words of wisdom?
Alright.
Wise Wasi.
What is your words of wisdom?
My wise words of the day. Knowledge is like underwear. It's useful to have, but not necessary to show it off.
That is actually true. I can actually understand that one.
Who want? Yeah, I wouldn't like to show my granny panties off.
Ooh, honey.
I wouldn't mind,
I
but
just
then
don't
you'd
want people
probably
seeing
die
my
of
click
fright.
marks.
Stop. So anyway, I hope you guys got a little sense of what we're trying to talk about today, and we hope that you found inspiration in this episode. What you might be looking for if you go into VR chat, and can you spot the difference between your IRL personality and your VR chat one? So thank you guys so much for watching the show. Like I say, we can't do it without you, potato chips. Please, we love your commentaries. Just write them down below. We are, as always, responding to them. Please like, share, subscribe. Go into our Patreon. Support us there. We also have a GoFundMe as well. You can go in and donate money to. We have TikTok. We have Instagram. We have a Discord as well. You can go in and you become a member of our group in there. And as the new feature we have in VR Chat, you can be a member of our VR Chat group, the 6873 Show. You just send a request, that will be to me, and I'll add you. So you can wear that fancy banner that everybody else has as well. To all the potato chips out there, you take care, you be safe. Lots of love. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, Rossi here. Thanks for watching the show. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And also, please sign up to our Patreon. Love ya. Toodle and the pip.